Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another exciting edition of high school football here on Eagle Pass Sports Central, coming to you live this evening on our Facebook page, on our YouTube channel, and on KINL 92.7. My name is Ruben Valadez, and with my broadcasting partner, Morris Lipson Jr., we're coming to you live this afternoon from Jordanton, where the Eagle Pass High School Eagles and the Corpus Christy Moody Trojans are just about to kick off. The kickoff is on its way. It will be fielded at the 26-yard line for the Eagles by Sebastian Velasquez, and he'll bring it out all the way across the 35 to about the 37-yard line. And partner, both these teams come in at 1-1. The Eagles, a tough loss last week in Boerne against Boerne champion, looking for revenge here against the Moody Trojans.
Well, and not only that, we came here last year, and it was pretty lopsided for Eagle Pass, very uncharacteristic of the Moody Tigers.
Moody won the toss pregame, elected to defer, so the Eagles have the ball to start. Here is a handoff met in the backfield at the 36-yard line is the running back. That's number 22, Jorge Sierra, who's starting for the Eagles. And it's going to be a second and about 10 from there. No gain.
Really good penetration by the Moody defense. They were right there, Johnny on the spot to make the tackle.
At the 36-yard line, another carry for Sierra comes to the near side at the 40 and is pushed out of bounds as he nears the 45-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 44. And it's now going to be a third and a couple for the Eagles.
You know, Ruben, the prediction show, Eagle coaches telling us they had some injuries last week in last week's game against Boerne champion. And I think we're going to see some new faces here tonight.
So a new roster provided to us for today by the Eagle coaches. Javier Barrera in at quarterback, and the handoff goes again to Sierra, and Sierra will get the Eagles a first down as he heads towards the far hash mark. The Eagles are the visiting team today. That's a first down for the Eagles at the 49-yard line right near midfield.
Javier Barrera in at quarterback. Want to say hello to our friend Jaime Barrera, who I'm sure is listening with special interest in this game.
Keeping an eye here. Here's a free play for the Eagles as somebody came off sides. The ball is caught on the far side of the field, but they're going to call the play dead before the snap. And so it'll be 5 yards for the Eagles in penalties there.
Nonetheless, that they pre-snap and they blew it dead, but Barrera threw a pretty nice pass on the opposite side of the field, didn't he? Hit him right in stride.
Across the field, absolutely, and did a good job. I think that was Gunnar Caballero over on the other side. But this is going to come back. I think that was Sebastian Velasquez, rather, on the other side. But it won't count, but they will award the Eagles 5 yards, and that puts them in Moody territory at the 46-yard line, and it's going to be a 1st and 5 now from there. Barrera in the shotgun, takes the snap, drops back to pass, looks right. Here's the pass down the near sideline, and it is caught there at the 12-yard line by number 1, Pepe Hernandez, and Hernandez has the Eagles inside the red zone at the 17.
What a well-executed play. Barrera right where it needed to be. Pepe Hernandez with one of those ESPN catches, I want to say, because he caught it in stride, managed to keep 1 foot in bounds here in the near sideline.
Over the shoulder and in stride. The Eagles now in business with a 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line. Here's a handoff to Sierra. He's going to get caught in the backfield and brought down for a loss of a couple to the 19. 2nd and 12 coming up for the Eagles from there.
Eagles on their first drive in the red zone already, over to our right. Paint a picture for you, Moody with white uniforms, white jerseys. Of course, their colors are blue and white.
Here's Barrera in the shotgun. He'll take the snap, fakes the handoff to Sierra, lets the pass go down the middle of the field, and it is incomplete. But here's a flag. I think it was intended for number 11, Sebastian Diaz, and he was held as he made his way up the middle of the field.
he looked at the official who was in the end zone and said, "Hey, I'm waiting for the flag." And just sure as heck, here comes the flag flying. And there was obviously a hole there in the middle of the field.
Somebody got a hold of Sebastian Diaz as he was making his way up the field. And this should put the Eagles on that pass interference in 1st and goal territory now.
The Moody coach not happy. He's saying to the official, "Gosh, it took him really, really late to throw that flag."
It was the back judge. It was the official near the goal line, near the end line, that threw that flag. But he had a very good view of it from there. The Eagles now, after the penalty, a 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. Barrera in the shotgun is going to move a man to the far side of the formation. The toss is to that left flat, and it goes out of bounds and incomplete. Emilio Mendoza was the intended receiver. That was almost a backwards pass. Got to be careful, and they were lucky that ball went out of bounds.
So the Eagles, after the pass interference penalty, are inside the 5-yard line at about the 4, and they are threatening early here in this football game.
2nd and goal now from the 4. Ball on the near hash mark. 2 men on either side of the formation for Barrera. In the shotgun here is, again, the fake handoff, and now the throw into the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown. That is, we'll get a number for you as soon as he gives us his number. Is that number 8, Sebastian Velasquez?
Yes.
And Sebastian Velasquez with the 4-yard touchdown catch puts the Eagles on the board 6-0 with 9:22 left here in the first quarter. The Eagles strike first on their first offensive drive of the game.
A little slant coming from the right across the field and a bullet pass by Barrera.
Here for the point after attempt is Frausto, and the kick is good. Lázaro Frausto with the point after, and the score with 9:22 is 7-0 in favor of the Eagles. We want to thank the sponsors on behalf of Universal Media Connections, Valde Record Service, Nevada's Law Firm, Allstate, Onésimo Elizondo, Saritas Tortilleria Factory, TNT Rentals, IBC Bank, Stat Emergency, R&R Safety Wear LLC, Texas Diamond Garage, Capital Insurance Services, Inc., Clarissa Rivera Flores, Tienda de los Venados, Jad Harper, Attorney at Law, Tabanning Insurance, Chapa Law Group, Choches Barbecue, Benavides Insurance, Lorena Melo State Farm, Brown Chevrolet, Vargas Hardware, Ruiz & Associates. And on behalf of Eagle Pass Sports Central, we want to thank our sponsors, Ancira Ford of Eagle Pass, Brown of Eagle Pass, Brown Chevrolet Buick GMC of Eagle Pass, and State Representative Eddie Morales. Eagles partner, a quick drive to start the game. They chewed up maybe about 2.5, almost 3 minutes of time, and they're on the board 7-0. Now it's time for the defense.
Well, here the Eagles are going to kick off as the Moody Tigers are going to get the football. If you're watching us streaming, Eagles going from left to right across your screen.
Eagles are the visiting team. They've got those dark uniforms on today. This pass is, it's going to be touched right before it goes out of bounds at the 12-yard line. And the head coach is going to have a conversation with number 8 for the Trojans, because that was a bad decision. That thing was headed out of bounds. It would have been a penalty against the Eagles, and it would have set them up at the 35. Instead, they're at the 12 where it was last touched.
And that really pins them back over there, and that was a very vigorous discussion, I want to say, with the coach there with his player as to, man, you should have just left that alone.
Awareness is a huge component when you're playing football, and the little lack of awareness there has cost the Moody Trojans some yards. Here go the Eagles on defense. The handoff is to one of the running backs in the backfield. He'll gain about 2 yards to the 14. This is that
was number 27, I believe.
We'll see if we have him on our chart here. Adrian Luna Jr. is the fullback. This is a tight formation offensively. Lots of deception, right? coming out of the backfield, and so we'll do the best we can to get you these numbers, but you can see a very tight formation with 2 men in the backfield, that T formation behind the quarterback. Number 4 with the ball here, Ja'Cory Perry, senior running back, gets across the 20 to the 21-yard line. A gain of 7 yards there, and it's about a yard shy of a first down, so it'll be 3rd and 1 now for the Trojans.
Ruben, that's about as tight as you can get a formation, the offense here for the Moody Tigers, and they bunched them all up there. Quarterback has to do a good job of ball handling. There's a lot of deception there.
Takes you back to the old wishbone days of UT and Oklahoma. Number 7, Dylan Prado is the quarterback. He'll hand off again to big number 27, Adrian Luna. And Luna has a first down for the Trojans at the 23-yard line.
I would say the number 27 has a really low center of gravity. I mean, he is really built, stout. Looks like he's going to be tough. He'll present a problem to bring down.
Big running back coming out of the backfield for the Trojans, and we mentioned that this is a predominantly, the coaches told us yesterday at the prediction show, Coach Roger Olivas, defensive coordinator, told us this is a predominantly running team. They play with tight formations. Now, the other thing the coaches told us is a lot of these players from Moody play both ways. It'll be interesting as the game moves along how much fatigue plays into this. Again, Luna with the carry. He'll put his head down as he crosses the 25, and he'll be brought down at the 26-yard line. A gain of 3 yards on the play. 2nd and 7 coming up for the Trojans, and this is the kind of offense they have. They eat up yards and eat up yards.
Well, I'll make you a little bet when the first Moody pass will be thrown tonight.
What's first quarter or second quarter, do you think?
I would say the second quarter.
We'll wait and see if that's correct.
Steak dinner on it.
Good, a steak dinner. I've always wanted to go to the steakhouse there in Devine on our way home and get a steak from there. 26-yard line on the near hash mark. Here's a counter, a new running back with the ball this time. That's Ja'Cory Perry, and Perry gets it across the 30 to the 31-yard line, a gain of 5 yards on that play. And again, as long as they keep getting it into a 3rd and manageable, this offense will work for them.
Yes. 21, Armando Leckler, and 25, Isar Mauricio were right there to make the tackle.
From the 31-yard line, it's a 3rd and 2 now for the Trojans. As the Eagle defense, wait, the sun just setting, you can see the shadows. The sun casting a shadow here on Indian Field at Jordanton. Here's Luna again with the carry. He'll try to move the pile forward, and that's another first down for the Trojans at the 33-yard line. 1st and goal from there for Moody. And again, this offense works, partner, as long as you keep churning yards and as long as you can get it to 3rd and manageable.
42 for the Eagles. Diego Villarreal right there to make the initial hit, and then got some help from the rest of the Eagles to bring down the Tiger running back, who looks like he's probably, him and number 4 are going to be the workhorses tonight.
Luna and Perry. Diego Villarreal, one of the captains pregame at the coin toss. Here's a receiver split out wide left. It's a decoy as the ball goes again to Luna out the left side of the formation this time, and he'll gain about 3 yards across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
Diego Villarreal there right again with the initial contact. And I think that's going to probably be the strategy for the Eagles tonight. Make the initial contact, hold on, and get some help there at the line of scrimmage.
If you're on that Eagle defensive line today, you're going to need an ice bath tomorrow in the training room, because it's going to be hard for those men on the line, on the trenches for the Eagles with a running attack like this. Again, 3 men in the backfield. The handoff this time is to Ja'Cory Perry, and Perry has running room on the left side of the formation. He'll get across the 40 to the 41-yard line for a gain of 5 yards. And here it is again, partner, a 3rd and 3.
21 making the tackle, Armando Leckler again. And here it is. This is pretty crucial 3rd down here with the Tigers moving the football. 3rd and about 3. from the 41.
4:10 left in the first quarter. And, of course, this kind of offense that the Trojans run also eats up a lot of clock. So the opposing offense doesn't get, if this offense is executed correctly, the opposing offense doesn't get a whole lot of time with the ball. 3rd and 3. Luna with the carry, tries the left side of the line, and that's going to be good enough for a first down as they'll bring him down at the 45-yard line. And this is a drive that started, remember, all the way back here at the 12-yard line. And now the Trojans still in their own territory, but this is going to be the 3rd first down of this drive. 1st and 10 for the Trojans from there. Ball on the near hash mark. Dylan Prado is the quarterback for the Trojans, and all he's done so far in this ballgame is hand off to the men behind him. Here is another, this time a reverse, number 6 with the ball, and a great job there of bringing him down. That's Caden DeFore with the carry, coming around, trying to come around right end, but the Eagle defense, I think that was Gunnar Caballero with tackle for a 2-yard loss.
And they strung him out to the opposite side of the field. A big shout out to Ricardo Calderon, who is watching, is reminded me that they're not the Tigers, they are the Trojans.
The Moody Trojans.
Moody Trojans, and he is exactly correct.
Ball is at the 43-yard line, a 2nd and 12 for the Trojans from there. And again, this is the kind of offense that is not built for this kind of down and distance, right? 2nd and 12. We'll see what they do here. Looked like some early motion to me from the Trojan backfield. Doesn't matter as the running back is stuffed at the line of scrimmage for no gain, and it's going to be a 3rd and 12 now.
Number 7 for the Eagles there, Gunnar Caballero there to make the initial contact.
Back-to-back tackles in the backfield for Gunnar Caballero, one of the defensive stars for this Eagles defensive unit. And, partner, we might see a pass before the second quarter. 1:52 left in the first quarter, but on a 3rd and 12, we'll see what kind of arm perhaps Dylan Prado has. Under center, it's a fumble on the center quarterback exchange. The ball is on the ground. There are flags pre-snap, and the initial sign from the judge here on this sideline is an offsides. So that might give the Trojans 5 yards on an offsides penalty there.
Well, let's see what happens here. The Eagles were trying to anticipate the count and plug the hole. And here we go.
It is an offside penalty against the Eagles. You'll step off 5 yards. The ball now is going to end up at the 48-yard line after the penalty, where it is going to be now a 3rd and 7 from there after 5 free yards. 1:40 left in the first quarter. Eagles have a 7-0 lead. This is only the second offensive possession of the game. It's a first one for Moody. The Eagles have had the ball once. They scored in their first possession. And Moody on a drive that started with about 9 minutes left back at the 12, still at it with 1:23 left in the first quarter. Motion for the Trojans, dropping back to pass to Prado. He'll roll left. Now he'll drop back some more, roll right. In the grasp, that might be a fumble and a live ball. Somebody fell on it, I think, for the Trojans way back here inside the 20. The referee did throw a flag there. Might be in the area of holding, but you hope it's not a roughing the quarterback flag. He's going to pick it up.
Picking it up.
I think he meant to throw his fumble, the beanbag for the fumble, and he picked at his flag correct. Instead.
But that was not a pass. I got to clear that up with you. He was going to pass the football, though.
He was an attempted pass before the second quarter. Well, now the Trojans are all the way back at the 20, and it's a 4th and forever from there. 4th and about 25, and you would think that the Trojans will punt here with 1:10 left in the first quarter. 2 men back deep. Number 1, Jose Pepe Hernandez, and number 11, Sebastian Diaz, back to receive. Oh. That snap way over the head of the punter. He's got to bring it down, and he's going to be brought down by the Eagle coverage team inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. The Eagles will start 4 yards away from the end zone on offense. Jason Garcia, the punter, had the ball go over his head. Adrian Ayala is the punter, and he'll have the ball go over his head, and all he could do was corral it, Morris, and hope to get it off.
Special teams have hurt the Trojans here. Over here on the kickoff, and now on the snap, on the punt, and the Eagles have it at the 5-yard line.
53 seconds left. Ball is at the 5. The handoff is to Sierra, who's met in the backfield. No gain for him there. He'll be brought down at the 5. And it'll be a 2nd and goal, and the Eagles have 43 seconds to run another play and try to score a touchdown before the end of the first quarter.
But they're absolutely in no hurry here. But just like you were mentioning, partner, the first quarter went very quick.
That ground and pound offense of the Trojans keeps the clock ticking, and it eats up a lot of clock. The handoff it's a keeper by Javier Barrera, and Barrera will bowl close to the end zone. Are they going to call it a touchdown, or are they going to call him just shy, a half a yard shy of a touchdown on the quarterback keeper for Barrera? And that will be the last play of the first quarter, and we will switch sides of the field all the way to the 4-yard line on the other side.
Very quickly on that, Barrera faked the handoff to Sierra, took off to the other side of the field, spun, and just almost got into the end zone. Very, very close.
Eagles will now go into the side of the field that's sunny as the sun is setting and the shadows are being cast over on the south side of the field, the north side of the field off to our left here where our camera will take you in just a second. And now the Eagles will be in position on a 3rd and goal. This is a drive that started for the Eagles at the 5-yard line, now facing a 3rd and goal, trying to get in for their 2nd touchdown of the game.
Well, Ruben, we've played 1 quarter, a sunny afternoon in Jordanton, Texas, neutral field for the Eagles and the Trojans here tonight. The Eagles seem to have this thing well in hand so far with a 7-0 lead, and they're knocking on the door again.
Javier Barrera will bring the Eagle offense to the half-yard line now on the north side of the field. He'll be in the shotgun with Sierra next to him. The handoff is to Sierra, and over the left side of the line, he goes in for the touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown run for number 22, Jorge Sierra. And the Eagles, for the moment, are up 13-0 on the Trojans. Lázaro Frausto will come on for the point after attempt. Armando Leckler, number 21, is the holder on the point after. Low snap. Leckler does a good job, though, of picking it up off the ground, and the kick is up and good. And the Eagles now have a 14-0 lead over the Trojans, and we'll take a little break. We'll be right back. Pause the music. Here is the kickoff after the touchdown. A line drive fielded at about the 14 by Adrian Ayala. Ayala still on his feet. That's actually number 6, Caden DeFore. And DeFore brings it all the way here to the 40-yard line on the near side of the field. A good kickoff return for the Trojans. They'll mark him down. One official is at the 41. The near official is at the 39. So if they meet in the middle, they might put this at the 40. No, they're going to put this down at the 39 on the near hash mark.
Number 33, Anthony Paniagua, came up and made the tackle on the near sideline, where the Trojans will set up house at their own 39.
Dylan Prado, the Trojan quarterback, will come under center. Ball is on the near hash mark. 3 men in the backfield. The handoff is to Luna again, who gets stood up as he tries to go over right guard. They'll give him forward progress to the 41, a gain of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 8 now for Moody.
36, Luis Velasquez, there to lead the charge, and they're figuring out the Trojan running back and meeting him right at the line of scrimmage, slowing him down enough.
Keying in on Adrian Luna. Ball is at the 41 on the near hash mark. Big man at center there for Moody. Ramsey Martinez. Here's the handoff again to Luna. Does a good job of getting north and south and then cutting right. And before being stopped here at the 48-yard line, just a yard shy of a first down.
Luna found a huge hole on the right side of the line and did get into the defensive secondary for the Eagles.
And it'll be a 3rd and 1 from the 48-yard line. No particular hurry to get to the line of scrimmage are the Moody Trojans. Now they're there. Prado under center. The handoff again to Luna, who tries again the right side of the line and is able to get a first down across midfield to the Eagles' 49-yard line, where it'll be a first down.
Number 34, Devante Monsivais, came in to hit him low and bring him down.
And again, much like in their previous drive, Moody is moving the ball. What cost them last time was a couple of miscues in the backfield. But as long as Luna is able to get 3 and 4 yards at a time, they can keep the drive moving.
Look at the Eagle defense. They're pretty much boxed up.
Safeties are only about 6-7 yards behind the line of scrimmage or beyond the line of scrimmage. Here's a carry for Caden DeFore, who is pushed out of bounds after a gain of 2 yards at the 47-yard line.
Eagle defense trying to hold them to short yardage in that 1st and 2nd down and make that 3rd down more easier to defend.
About 3rd and 5, anything beyond that probably puts the Trojans in a tough position. But if they've got 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 4s, 3rd and 2s, then the 3rd down conversion is always possible.
You're correct. Look at our Eagle defensive backfields. Look at the safeties.
The safeties are very close to the box.
7-8 yards deep.
Ball on the near hash mark here. Prado goes under center. The handoff again is to Luna, right up the middle of the formation. He goes up the near hash mark, and he'll get to the 42-yard line on that rush, a 5-yard gain there. And now it's 3rd and 3 coming up for the Trojans. We've got 8.5 minutes left in the second quarter. And by my play drives partner, this is the second possession for Moody, and the Eagles have only had the ball twice. So not a lot of possessions in this ballgame, at least not compared to what we heard from Coach Javier Cardenas about what the Eagles had to do in Bernie last week, which was a fast-paced game with lots of possession and lots of yards gained for both teams. Ball on the near hash mark, Prado under center. The handoff again is to Luna, and he's got room, and he bowls over the Eagle defense and easily gets a first down to the 37-yard line.
To his credit, number 23, Adrian Rodriguez, came up and met him head on. With that low center of gravity, Luna managed to get enough for the first down.
He plugged the hole, and Luna just went right through it anyway. Again, shows you the power of this workhorse for the Moody Trojans, who come in at 1-1. They've had success already this season. We're at 7:33 in the first quarter, in a game in which the Eagle offense really hasn't had the ball all that much. Here's Prado under center. Again, the handoff is to Luna, who spins around, showing some shiftiness there, and then showing power by moving the pile forward, keeping his legs churning, and he'll get some good yardage there all the way to the 28-yard line.
And I'm really impressed by number 27.
Adrian Luna Jr. putting on a show here for the Trojans and beating up the Eagle defense. It's a 2nd and 2 from the 28-yard line for Moody. Again, Moody won the toss pregame and deferred, so they'll get the ball back first in the second quarter. If they can eat up clock here and score, they might keep this a close game. 2nd and 2 for the Trojans. Here's another handoff for Luna, who tries his favorite side of the line, that right side, and he'll get another Moody first down to the 23-yard line. A 5-yard gain for him there.
So this drive that started in Moody territory at about the 41, I believe, or so.
The 39-yard line.
Is now almost in the red zone.
It also started with 11:45 left in the second quarter, and now we've got 6:22. So again, these drives by the Moody Trojans just eating up yardage and clock. And what that does is it keeps the ball away from the opposing offense.
You know, the Eagles haven't run that many offensive plays. They've just been very productive.
That's right. They've run about 12 plays offensively, have the Eagles, in this ball game. Here's a counter. The ball goes to Ja'Cory Perry, and Perry goes up the middle of the formation, and he'll get across the 20 all the way to the 17-yard line is where they'll spot the 18 is where they'll spot him.
The Eagles tried to make some defensive changes. There's really a lot of pounding going on in there because the Eagle defense is standing tall to stop this running game.
This is tough in the trenches. This kind of offense is tough on your defensive line. And the Eagles trying to bend but not break here late in the second quarter. 5:27 left. The Eagles have a 14-0 lead, but the Moody Trojans are threatening. The Trojans here are about to call their first timeout of the first half. 14-0 is the Eagle lead with 5:16 left in the second quarter, and we will take a very short break. Back live with you here, and we do want to thank Brown of Eagle Pass, Brown Chevrolet Buick GMC. Adrian Ortiz had us at the prediction show there this past week, yesterday, at noon. And we want to thank all of you who joined us for the prediction show on YouTube and on Facebook. And we want to thank all of you who are listening in this evening back home in Eagle Pass or wherever you might be. Here's a counter for Luna. Luna tries the middle of the formation. They haven't blown the whistle yet, and that pile is moving. I still don't hear a whistle. There it is. Finally, they'll give him forward progress to the 15-yard line. A gain of 3 yards for Adrian Luna Jr., who himself might need a nice bath tomorrow morning after this kind of effort. It's a 3rd and 2 coming up for the Trojans.
This one is going to be a tough third down for the Eagles because they're really going to have to bring it all up to the line of scrimmage to avoid the first down.
The Trojans have tried some outside runs. They haven't been successful at them. Not a lot of speed here. Most of this offense relies on push going north and south. We'll see what they do here on 3rd and 2 with 4:27 left in the first quarter. Bravo under center. The handoff is to Luna, and Luna goes over right tackle and gets the Trojans a first down to the 11-yard line on a 4-yard gain.
Number 34, Devante Monsivais, and number 7, Gunnar Caballero there to make a tough tackle on Luna.
It looked like for a minute he was going to be out in open field, like he had some running room, but it closed up fast for him. However, the Trojans do have a 1st and 10 at the 11. They can still get a first down at the 1 with 3:56 left in the second quarter. The Eagles have had the ball for about a minute maybe in this quarter. Bravo again under center at the 11, and Moody had some confusion with its formation there. They'll call their second time out of the first half, and we will take some time to thank our sponsors here live on behalf of Universal Media Connections, Power 92.7 FM, Valde Record Service, Nevada's Law Firm, Allstate, Onésimo Elizondo, Saritas Tortilleria Factory, TNT Rentals, IBC Bank, Stat Emergency, R&R Safety Wear LLC, Texas Diamond Garage, Capital Insurance Services, Inc., Clarissa Rivera Flores, Tienda de los Venados, Jed Harper, Attorney at Law, Tabity Insurance, Chapa Law Group, Choches Barbecue, Benavides Insurance, Lorena Melo State Farm, Brown Chevrolet, Vargas Hardware, and Ruiz and Associates. And we want to thank our sponsors on Eagle Pass Sports Central. Brown Chevrolet, Buick GMC of Eagle Pass, Ancira Ford of Eagle Pass, and State Representative Eddie Morales.
You know, Ruben, we're 3 minutes and 41 seconds away from halftime, and this game started 7 o'clock. It is 7:33 right now. So with no incomplete passes, no stopping of the clock, this game has moved along. And you mentioned a point that's very important. The Trojans, although down 14 points, if they can get in the end zone here, actually will salvage pretty much this first half.
Mm-hmm. And they'll get the ball back first. They'll have the ball first in the second half. Here is number 4, Ja'Cory Perry with the carry, and he's brought down as he nears the 5-yard line. They'll give him the 8. A gain of 3 yards, and it'll be a 2nd and 7 from there. The Trojans can still get a first down at the 1.
One of the first times they didn't pound it between the tackles, and they come over to the right side. They kind of strung him out a little bit, but now it's crunch time for the Eagle Pass defense.
Again, those runs on the edges haven't worked out very well for the Trojans. It's, as you mentioned, partner, that north and south pounding runs that have worked for them. Here's a 2nd and 7 with 2:58 left from the 8-yard line. Luna gets the ball, moving the pile on the right side. Now moves it to the middle of the line, and he's given forward progress to the 4-yard line, so a 4-yard gain there. That's always, I imagine, tricky for the officials when to blow the whistle, because you can see the young man still churning his legs probably down in the middle of that pile.
Well, the key is getting, he's listed at 5'10". They don't give us his weight, but I would assume he's pretty well over 200 pounds.
Looks to be, certainly from our position here in the press box. 3rd and 3 for the Trojans at the 4-yard line. 2:15 left in the second quarter. The handoff is to Luna, puts his head down on the right side of the line, still pushing the pile forward. No call yet. They'll mark him down at the half-yard line, but it is a first down from there for the Trojans. And now they'll have essentially 4 downs. They come to the line quickly, do the Moody Trojans, and now the Eagle defense, who probably needs a breather at this point, is going to call a timeout. And we'll let them take the timeout, and we'll be right back. Back here with you now from Indian Stadium in Jordanton. And the Corpus Christi Moody Trojans are a yard away from getting on the board here in a game in which the Eagles have led first 7-0 for most of the first quarter rather. The Eagles got the ball back on a special teams play at the 5-yard line and scored, making it 14-0. But the Trojans with a big long drive here. The Eagle defense is going to stand up Luna right at the 1 at the line of scrimmage. A whole bunch of defenders there, led by number 34 Devante Monsivais. Also in on the tackle, number 23 Adrian Rodriguez. And to the line quickly come the Moody Trojans on a 2nd and goal. And on the quarterback keeper for Dylan Prado, it'll be a touchdown for Moody. And for the moment, the score is 14-6.
One of those situations that happens so often in football. Your workhorse running back gets you inside the 1, and your quarterback maybe sneaks it over and gets the 6 points. But nonetheless, a really good drive. It looks like here the little confusion. They don't have the right personnel in there. The clock's down. Well, they just started the play clock.
Be the point after attempt. Prado is the holder. The kick is up, and it is no good. Number 18, the kicker for the Trojans, Christopher Romo, comes up short, and that's very important because the lead for the Eagles stays at 14-6 with a minute 29.
Ruben, three special teams setbacks.
That's right.
For the Trojans here in the first half.
Nonetheless, a very long 16-play drive that started at their own 39-yard line for the Trojans that ate up a bunch of clock. This drive for Moody started with 11:45 left in the second quarter, and so they've taken up most of the second quarter on this drive, and they've left the Eagle offense a minute and 29 to navigate with before the end of the first half.
What we need here is a good kickoff return with a minute 29, get us into some pretty good field positions and within some striking distance of putting more points on the board here before the end of the half.
The Eagles do have 2 timeouts left before the end of the half. Pepe Hernandez and Sebastian Diaz back here to receive the kick, standing at about their own 15-yard line. We'll see what kind of kick.
Onside kick?
You know, I was thinking that too. Nothing would catch them by surprise more than an onside kick here. It actually crossed my mind. It is a short kick, and it will be fair caught at the 38-yard line by Hector Jimenez Jr. for the Eagles. And we'll see here, Morris, with a minute 28 left in the second quarter. A sophomore quarterback, right? Coaches told us Andres Garcia a little banged up last week after that game at Bernie. So Javier Barrera has gotten the start here today. He's done a good job so far in this ball game.
Very valuable experience.
Absolutely, and we'll see how we can navigate a 2-minute offense here before the end of the half. Barrera will be in the shotgun, 3 receivers to the far side, 1 here to the near side from the 38-yard line. It's a keeper for Barrera. Up the middle he goes. He's got room. He's going to be brought down at the 45-yard line.
You know, Barrera took that ball and actually cut to the inside, to the right. But if he had cut to the left, he would have had. Here they come up to the line of scrimmage quickly.
Ball is at the 45. Barrera rolls right. He's looking downfield. Now he'll just keep it himself. I think he's got enough for a first down before running out of bounds over on the far side of the field. He does. They're going to mark him out at the 48-yard line, and it'll be a first down for the Eagles. More importantly, runs out of bounds and the clock stops.
Good judgment shown by Barrera. He rolled out to the far side of the field, looked downfield, didn't see anybody there, and knew he had enough presence on the field to just get out of bounds and get the first down.
That's important for him to not force something down the field, try to make something happen to keep the ball, get a fresh set of downs, and the clock stops. A minute 2 left now in the first half. Here come the Eagles. Barrera in the shotgun, little triangle formation down here for the receivers on the near hash mark, and Pepe Hernandez split out wide right over on the far side of the field. The snap, Barrera drops straight back, lets the pass go on the far sideline, and just over the reach of Pepe Hernandez, who's streaking down the far side in single coverage.
You know, what we saw there, and I think you and I are thinking the same thing, with Coach Cardenas over there. I think he audibled that, set it up, because he saw the one-in-one coverage on the far side.
He saw something pre-snap, and you're right, partner. He called it in to his offense, and Pepe Hernandez with a good throw, just a little over the reach of Barrera with a throw over the reach of Pepe Hernandez. 57 seconds left here on a 2nd and 10 now from the 49-yard line, still in Eagle territory. This time Barrera rolls to his left, coming to the near side, lets a pass go. It's caught by Diaz in Moody territory now at the 45-yard line, and he does a good job of getting out of bounds.
They say he didn't get out of bounds. They're running the clock.
They'll keep the clock running now, about 45 seconds, and it's a 3rd.
Oh, Coach Gonzalez is they're really not happy about that on the far side.
Yeah, I don't see how.
I thought he got out of bounds.
Now the Eagles are going to have to use a timeout with 35 seconds left. That really puts you in a tough position. From our viewpoint here, it looked like Diaz had run out of bounds on his own.
It looked like there was no contact made on him before he got out of bounds. The official just, wound the clock, tell him to keep going. Then, and a good, 10 seconds went off the clock?
About 10 seconds, yeah. And could be costly here. Here's Coach Tom Gonzalez talking to the referee on the other side, asking why the clock wouldn't have stopped when Sebastian Diaz went out of bounds on his own down here.
Coach Gonzalez couldn't see that like we did. We've got it over here on the near sideline, so we saw a lot better. And we think he's right.
Yeah, very clear here where Sebastian Diaz went out of bounds. Nevertheless, the Eagles will have to use their second timeout of the first half, and they will have a 3rd and 2 from the 43-yard line as we come back here. On the near hash mark, Barrera from the shotgun with 3 receivers over to the far side. It's a keeper for him up the middle. He's got plenty of room at the 35, at the 30, cuts right, still on his feet. And that Trojan defense will try to hold him up and run some more clock. The clock stops momentarily while they reset the chains with 26 seconds. It's a first down for the Eagles, quickly to the line, and Barrera with enough presence of mind to spike the ball and stop the clock.
2 really good plays by the Eagle quarterback, Barrera, at that time. They called the right play with a little quarterback draw on the left side of the line. Well, everything, the middle of the field was wide open for him. And then very quickly to the line, and he spiked the ball to kill the clock.
Ball now is at the 26-yard line, a 2nd and 10 for the Eagles from there. Man in motion, that's Sebastian Diaz coming across the formation. They'll blow the play dead, and I don't know if that's a late timeout call or it's a false start. They're going to call a false start down here on the near sideline against the receiver split out wide left. And it'll cost the Eagles 5 yards. Back him up to the 31.
You know what? The board doesn't show any timeouts, does it?
It's not showing us timeouts, and it's not showing us the positioning of the ball. I think the yard marker is down on the scoreboard here to our left. The Eagles should have 1 timeout left in this half by my count. Here's a 2nd and 15 now for the Eagles. Barrera in the shotgun. Takes the snap, drops back, being forced right now. Here's the pass, headed into the end zone, and it's caught by Pepe. Oh, they're going to say it's incomplete. Not caught. Must have gone through his hands over on the far side of the field. Wasn't able to come down with it. And it'll be a 3rd and 15 now from the 31-yard line with 15 seconds. Good attempt, though, there by both Barrera and Hernandez.
Barrera running through that ball, rolling out to the right side, threw it on the run, and still a really good pass.
Threw that pass about 37 or so yards downfield. Here's Barrera now on a 3rd and 15 from the 31-yard line. Drops straight back. Here's the pass. It's caught at the 29-yard line by Pepe Hernandez. He's going to be well short of a first down. They'll give him the 27, and we'll see if the Eagles use their last time out here. They do, with 4 seconds left on what's going to be now a 4th and very long, and you wonder if Frausto is going to come in, Lázaro Frausto, to attempt a long field goal here. Let's see where the wind is blowing. The Eagles do have the wind at their back if you look at the flags over to our left.
You know, the ball is spotted at the 27, so probably not a field goal because that would be a 37, 40-yard field goal. but I think they're going to take a shot at the end zone or pull something out from the bag of tricks here.
Might be a trick play to end the half. This will be, barring a defensive penalty, the last play of the first half. You could toss it into the end zone and hope for a pass interference somewhere in there and give you one untimed play just shy of the end zone. This is the Eagles' last timeout of the half. There's 4 seconds left on the clock here at the end of the first quarter, end of the first half, rather. Ball is on the near hash mark. Barrera will be in the shotgun. 3 receivers over to the far side of the field and 2 down here to the near side. Barrera looking left, steps up in the pocket. He's going to heave one into the end zone, and it's nearly intercepted at about the 4-yard line, and that will be the last play of the first half on an incompletion. And, partner, this is a closer game than I think is comfortable for the Eagles. An 8-point lead going into halftime. 14-6 is the score. Time of possession, I'm sure, is in favor of the Moody Trojans in this first half, and they were able to eat up some clock and score some points with that offense.
You mentioned that before this last offensive possession for the Eagles, they had only run 12 plays. Of course, they got 14 points out of it, but nonetheless, the Trojans, the running game has controlled the clock, and despite the miscues that they've had on special teams, they go into halftime trailing 14-6, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of adjustments going on in both dressing rooms.
We will keep it right here. We'll mention our sponsors quickly before we show you the performance from the Mighty Eagle Band. We want to thank our sponsors, Valde Record Service, Nevada's Law Firm, Allstate, Onesimo Elizondo, Saritas Tortilleria Factory, TNT Rentals, IBC Bank, Stat Emergency, R&R Safety Wear LLC, Texas Diamond Garage, Capital Insurance Services, Inc., Tienda de los Venados, Jed Harper, Attorney at Law, Tammany Insurance, Chapa Law Group, Choches Barbecue, Benavides Insurance, Lorena Melo State Farm, Brown Chevrolet, Vargas Hardware, Reese and Associates. And on behalf of Eagle Pass Sports Center, we want to thank our sponsors, Brown Chevrolet Buick GMC of Eagle Pass, Ancita Ford of Eagle Pass, and State Representative Eddie Morales.
I think both of you would agree that our Eagle Band has never lost a halftime.
Never have. We're undefeated for as long as
we
know. That's right, as long as we can remember.
You know what would be a real interesting situation would be to figure out when was the first Eagle Band performance. That would be something to research.
That would be somewhere in the...
We've played football in Eagle Pass for over 100 years, 108 or 109 years.
So you imagine right around that time probably is when the Mighty Eagle Band had its first performance. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with the performance from the Mighty Eagle Band.
And now, marching onto the field with 41 years of consecutive First Division wins at UIL Marching Contest, the Mighty Eagle Band. Tonight, the Mighty Eagle Band will be performing the UIL Marching Show entitled Only Human, based off Harold Britton Chambers' Uncaged, featuring Peter Gabriel's My Body is a Cage and Philip Glass's 1,000 Airplanes on the Roof. The band is under the field direction of head drum major Frankie Lopez and assistant drum majors Abigail Delgado and Rudy Martinez. Color guard officers are Captain Angel Vera. Co-captains are Naomi Villarreal and Naomi Ramos. Guard of the week are Rebecca Fausto and Angela Ramos. And now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the Mighty Eagle Band. The Mighty Eagle Band is directed head band director David and Solis. Assistant directors are Corina Mesa, Martin Faria, Naui Reyes, Maribel Lozano, and Arnaldo Menchaca Jr. And secretary is Mrs. Denise Rodriguez. Superintendent of Schools is Mr. Samuel Mijares. And high school principal is Mr. Luis Huerta. The Mighty Eagle Band would like to thank the Mighty Eagle Band boosters for their continued support. We hope you enjoyed our show tonight. Thank you and good night.
welcome back for the start of the second half. Ruben Valadez and Morris Lipson Jr. along with you here on Eagle Pass Sports Central. Thank you for joining us, all of you who are joining us from Eagle Pass and surrounding locales on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel, and of course this year in conjunction with Universal Media on KINL Power 92.7 FM. Partner, the Eagles are in a unique situation here. They're going to be on defense to start the third quarter. The Trojans won the toss in the first, so they get the ball back here first in the second half, and they're down only by 8. 14-6 is the Eagle lead, and we'll see if that ground and pound offense is as effective as it was in the first half.
This will be a real crucial defensive series for the Eagles.
The kickoff is on its way. It will be fielded back there at the 5-yard line by number 8 for the Trojans, not on our roster, but he'll bring the ball in. That's actually number 6, Caden DeFore, with the ball, and DeFore is short of the 20 on his run back. They'll mark him down at the 18.
And here we go. You can bet that Coach Roger Olivas, our defensive coordinator, had a lot to say at halftime.
You got to keep your men close to the box and with their eyes in the backfield and find a way to bring down big Adrian Luna Jr., who had a monster first half. Ball on the near hash mark at the 18-yard line. Here is the handoff to Luna, and there is the Eagle defense on him quickly. They'll give him forward progress to the 19, but it'll be a 2nd and 9 from there.
I think you're going to see the Eagle defense run a lot more shunts and things like that, move around, and have your linebackers try to get to the hole and shut them down early before number 27 gets there.
That's the key. Instead of letting Luna get to that second level where your linebackers are, have the linebackers come in behind that defensive line. 2nd and 9 coming up here for the Moody Trojans. Bravo under center. The handoff again is to Luna, and Luna will get to the 23-yard line, and it'll bring up a 3rd and about 6 now for the Trojans.
What a nice job by number 20, Salinas, for the Eagles, who actually hit him low, went right for the shoestrings very quickly to bring him down.
And that's one of the ways to do that with someone who's got a center of gravity the way Luna does as a big kid, is to try to upend him whenever you cannot go at his knees, obviously, but try different ways to bring him down. Very important 3rd and 5 now coming up for the Trojans. Eagle defense made someone flinch, and it's going to be a 3rd and 10 now after that gets stepped off against the Trojans.
You had a linebacker fake a blitz. He was starting to hit in and then stopped all of a sudden, and that caused the offensive lineman to move. And what a critical 5-yard penalty.
Ball is at the 18-yard line, the original line of scrimmage. And it puts this Trojan offense in a position that they are not equipped to be in on a 3rd and long, 3rd and 10. Coming up now for Moody, and the Eagle defense can make a statement very early on here in the second half. Bravo under center, goes back. The defense is on him immediately, and a sack back at the 11-yard line. An outstanding job of knifing into the backfield there by the Eagle defense.
Number 15, Diego Rodriguez. Well, they were going to pass the ball finally, and the Eagles came at him with everybody, grabbed him by the jersey, spun him around. And let's see here, they're punting from their goal line.
Punter will get this. Now, he's had one of these snaps go over his head already in this ball game. We'll see how the snap is here. He's able to bring it down, gets a quick kick off, and it is fielded at the 39-yard line by Pepe Hernandez, who is spun around as he reaches the 26, and he'll be brought down at the 25-yard line And the Eagles with very good starting field position
Very
again.
good, but also a very fine kickoff punt return by Pepe, because he actually, that was a line drive kick, and he started running toward it, caught it like a line drive, and then just headed straight to north with it.
Had his momentum going towards the football as he made that return. Here's a quick pass to this side to Sebastian Velasquez, who makes the catch and heads upfield before being pushed out of bounds at the 17-yard line or so.
Very quick by Barrera. He got the snap in the shotgun and immediately looked over to the near sideline and fired that ball across.
Ball will be at the 18, a 6-yard gain there. Here's a man in motion. Barrera now rolling to his right, looks downfield. Ball is batted down at the line of scrimmage. He was looking for Sebastian Diaz on the right side of the field, and it'll be a 3rd and 4 now coming up for the Eagles.
Barrera started to roll out to the far side and then wanted to set up in the seam and didn't quite find it.
One of those defensive linemen got his hand up and tipped the ball on its way out of Barrera's hand. And the Eagles now have a 3rd and 4. Ball is at the 18-yard line. Ball on the near hash mark. Barrera in the shotgun. He'll take the snap. Rolls right, looking downfield. He's got room to run if he wants it. He's at the 10, at the 5, and he'll be taken out of bounds over there at the 6-yard line. Again, good presence of mind by Javier Barrera, and he gets the Eagles a 1st down at the 6.
He tucked it and turned on the rockers some good speed. He kind of surprised me.
Made up a lot of distance in a short amount of time there. He had enough room to run for the 1st down. 1st and goal now from the 6-yard line. Here is a keeper by Barrera. Up the right hash mark he goes towards the end zone, and he'll be brought down inside the 5 at the 3. A 3-yard gain and a 2nd and goal coming up now for the Eagles. We've got 8:18 left in the 3rd quarter. The Eagles with a 14-6 lead and looking to add on to it here.
Javier Barrera so far, offensively, he's picked up a lot of the slack.
Good with his feet and with his arm in this ball game. Here's a handoff to Jorge Sierra right up the middle of the formation. He goes, and that is a 3-yard touchdown run for Jorge Sierra that puts 6 more points up on the board for the Eagles. And the score for the meantime is 20-6 with 7:58 left here in the 3rd quarter.
Well, the Eagles start the half with a really sparkling defensive stand to get really good field position, and then the Eagle offense took care of the rest.
Lázaro Frausto on for the point after attempt. Low snap. Leckler puts it up, though, and it is good. And the Eagles now have a 21-6 lead here in the 3rd quarter, and we're going to take a break and be right back.
Who's back over there?
Kickoff on its way. The Eagles now have a 21-6 lead, rather. Kickoff will be handled over on the far side of the field by number 8, and he is stood up as he approaches the 30-yard line at the 27, and that is where the Moody Trojans will start with 7:50 left in the third quarter. Partner, you couldn't have scripted a better start to the half for the Eagles. A strong defensive stand, a 3-and-out on defense, and then a short field and a touchdown to get this 21-6 breathing room.
And again here, another test. Every defensive series will be a test for this Eagle defense, because you know that if we are going to stop number 27, you've got to figure that offensively the Trojans are going to make some adjustments.
And we'll see what this Trojan offense looks like now coming out here for their second offensive possession of the second half. Referee needs a ball. It's a good toss by, I think, the line judge there, all the way to the near hash mark. The line of scrimmage is the 33. And the Trojans will start from there on a 1st and 10. Prado under center with an I formation behind him. And quickly in the backfield on top of Prado is the Eagle defense. He didn't even let him get the handoff off to Ja'Cory Perry, Morris.
Number 15 for the Eagles, Diego Rodriguez, he's been assigned the quarterback. And he's going to be like, he's going to shadow him. In fact, he's going to be on him, try to time the snap of the ball.
That's the second straight time we've seen him do that. He's onto something, I think, on that snap, because he has been in the backfield almost ready to take the handoff in the last two defensive possessions for the Eagles. This is a 2nd and 13. 2nd and 14 now. Ball is at the 30-yard line for the Trojans. Here on the end around is number 6, Caden DeFore, and DeFore gets upended as he barely crosses the 30-yard line. They'll give him the 31, a gain of a yard there, and it's going to be a 3rd and long now for Moody. We might see the first Trojan pass of the ball game.
DeFore coming to the near side of the field, but number 23 for the Eagles, Adrian Rodriguez, came across, and they strung him out. And now I don't think I've seen very many, 3rd and 13 for the Trojans tonight.
No, and that's the kind of down and distance, again, that is not favorable to this type of offense. Prado will be under center. No receivers out in the formation. Back to pass, and it is very nearly intercepted down here on the near side by Danny Martinez, who was just sitting on that route meant for Ja'Cory Perry downfield. And again, another 3-and-out, and the Eagles are about to get the ball back.
Well, the Eagles are testing the Trojans quarterback ability to go deep, because they're still playing up there really tight up in the box. And nonetheless, on that one, they had to throw. I guess I won my bet, though.
Yeah, you very definitely did.
They didn't throw the ball until the second half.
So third quarter, 6:16 in the third quarter is when the Moody Trojans attempted their first pass of the ball game. Here comes another punt. Another line drive effort. This time it'll bounce once in front of Pepe Hernandez. He's got lots of room on the other side of the field. At midfield, 45-40, still on his feet, far sideline, 30-25. And Pepe Hernandez will go into the end zone on a punt return touchdown from about the 40-yard line. That's going to be about a 70-yard return for that young man. No flags on the field, and the Eagles have 6 more points.
I tell you, another line drive kick, and he came right up again and took it on the left hash mark. And when he headed to the far side of the field, I'm sure his eyes just, opened up.
I know ours did, because we saw all of that territory on the right side of the field.
And then, of course, his speed took care of the rest. Once he reached the sideline, he turned on the rockets.
He streaked down the far sideline. Here is Lázaro Frausto on for the point after. High snap. Leckler's got to keep it and attempt a pass. It is incomplete near the end zone, so the point after attempt is no good, and so the score remains Eagles 27 and Trojans 6. A little bit more breathing room, partner, here for the Eagles, and we'll use this opportunity to reset the camera And thank the sponsors on behalf of Universal Media Connections, Valdebecker Service, Nevada's Law Firm, Allstate, Onésimo Elizondo, Saritas Tortilleria Factory, TNT Rentals, IBC Bank, Stat Emergency, R&R Safety Wear LLC, Texas Diamond Garage, Capital Insurance Services, Inc., Clarissa Rivera Flores, Tienda de los Venados, Jed Harper, Attorney at Law, Tabanning Insurance, Chapa Law Group, Choches Barbecue, Benavides Insurance, Lorena Meadows State Farm, Brown Chevrolet, Vargas Hardware, Ruiz and Associates. And on behalf of Eagle Pass Sports Central, our sponsors, Brown Chevrolet, Buick, GMC of Eagle Pass, Ancira Ford of Eagle Pass, and State Representative Eddie Morales. The Eagles now have a 27-6 lead. Frausto about to kick off again. 2 men back to receive for the Trojans. It's number 6, Caden DeFore here on the near side, and number 8, who we don't have on our roster here, over on the far side of the field for the Trojans. Kickoff is on its way, and it'll be fielded on that far side at about the 16-yard line. The return man coming up the far hash mark now cuts back towards the far sideline. There is a flag on the play that looks to be in the area of either a block in the back or a hold at about the 29-yard line, and we'll wait and see. You mentioned, partner, that it was interesting to see what kind of adjustments the Trojan offense had made. Just as important, Eagle defense has really made some adjustments here, because they are not giving that Trojan offense and that running game a chance to breathe even. And I think it's about attacking the gaps, and we've seen number 15, Diego Rodriguez, already a couple of times.
Blitzing into the gaps, and then anticipating that pass now that they get into 3rd and long. And number 15, boy, I tell you what, he's figured it out at least twice, because he got there before even they snapped the ball to him.
He is in the backfield quick, and of course the Trojans have no ability with their offense to stretch this field in any meaningful way, so they cannot eat up yards down the field over the air. This drive is starting at the 19-yard line, and the ball is on the ground at about the 11. It'll be recovered there by the running back, Ja'Cory Perry, but it's a big loss of yardage on a drive that started at the 19.
Well, Ruben, partner, we have to say hello to Sarah June Gonzalez. She's sitting there enjoying maybe a cold drink,
perhaps,
and listening to our play-by-play, and she says she can envision the play-by-play. So that must mean we're doing a pretty decent job of that.
Well, we hope we are, and it's our pleasure as always here on Eagle Pass Sports Central to bring the action to all of the folks. Next week we'll be in Laredo, next Friday the 15th, a day before Mexican Independence Day, in Laredo for the game between the Mavericks and Nixon. Lots of movement pre-snap there, and it's going to go against the Trojans. It'll send them back. The line of scrimmage was the 16. It'll send them back 5 yards all the way now. Should be to the
6.
To the 6. The ball was on the 11, not on the 16, and it'll go back to the 16.
Something. Number 15 made that play. He sort of flinched, faked that, and now they're gun shy on the other side of the line, and they moved. They were trying to, beat him to the spot.
They are a little flinchy on that offensive line for the Trojans after Diego Rodriguez has knifed through at least twice in this second half. Now it is a 2nd and 23 for the Trojans, pinned back at their own 6-yard line. The ball carrier here is number 17. It looks like Aiden Trevino. I think we've got a new quarterback, and Aiden Trevino is in at the quarterback position. He tried to carry it himself, but he's pushed back. No gain to the 6, and now a 3rd and 23. And here we go again. All the advantage now for this Eagle defense on a 3rd and 23.
As much as this may seem odd, could be quite a time to maybe, as good a punt returns as we've had, that they maybe quick kick this thing.
They might. It's a 3rd down here. Prado with the handoff.
Oh, fumble.
And the ball is on the ground, and somebody's got it for the Eagles right at about the 10-yard line. Number 13 came up with that ball. Danny Martinez, the senior defensive back, was in on that pile, fell on the ball, and the Eagles are in business at the 10.
And whatever defensive adjustments they've made were exactly what they needed, because the Eagle defense has come out this second half and they've got the Trojan offense back on its heels.
The whole second half has been played on the north side of the 50. Here is Barrera from the shotgun, a counter to Jorge Sierra, who cuts up field, and he'll be brought down at the 5-yard line. They'll give him the 4 for forward progress, where it'll be a 2nd and goal from there for the Eagles.
The Eagle passing game plus Barrera's mobility has really opened up the Eagle running game down the middle.
The middle of the field has been open for Jorge Sierra, as he has scored 2 touchdowns in this ball game already. Here's a keeper by Barrera, and he has an easy walk into the end zone, a 4-yard touchdown for Javier Barrera, and that gets 6 more points on the board for the Eagles and makes the score 32-6 with 3:07 left in the third quarter.
You know, Ruben, the Eagles would like nothing better than to, get a comfortable lead and then be able to give more players some playing time.
Yeah, and that's absolutely what they've worked on. You think about it, about 9 minutes ago, we were starting this second half, and the score was 14-6, and we were wondering if the Trojans could march down the field and make it a close game, and very quickly, within about 9 minutes, the Eagles have stretched this to a 33-6 lead.
Another bad snap, and they block our point after.
And so the score remains 33-6 with 3:07 left in the third quarter. We're going to take a little break, and we'll be right back. Here is Lázaro Frausto with the kickoff. The Eagles now enjoy a comfortable 33-6 lead. That is touched at the 8-yard line, and number 8 can only pick that up and try to make something out of it. He's going to be brought down as he crosses the 15 to the 16. And partner, the Trojans haven't made it very far downfield in this second half. The whole game has been played in Trojan territory.
Pretty much in their red zone back
That's
there
right.
inside the 20. And that's just shows you how well the Eagle defense has adjusted and made adjustments here in the second half.
The Eagle offense has started at the Trojan 25, then they ran back a punt, and then at the Trojan 10. So the Eagle offense has had short fields to work with here in the third quarter. Here comes Moody. The handoff is to Luna, who'll be brought down at the 18-yard line.
One of the few times that they've actually been able to give him a clean handoff.
We talked about it during the break. It looks muddled unless you're using binoculars and you're as you are able to see what's happening. The whole handoff process looks very muddled because you mentioned it, partner. The Eagle defense is shooting the gaps.
Well, your eagle eyes are almost as good as my binocular eyes at this stage.
I trust your binoculars because from up here, that's those tight formations, and with the ball handling being what it is, it's hard to see what exactly is happening down there. Ball is at the 18-yard line on a 2nd and 8 for the Trojans. Here's a handoff again to Luna, and this time he'll try the right side of the line and gets across the 20 to the 22-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and now it's a 3rd and about 3 or 4 for the Trojans.
Eagle linebackers now very effectively closing those gaps, and that's what's helping the rest of the Eagles come up and make a tackle on 27 on Luna.
The Eagle defense strong in this third quarter, not giving that Trojan offense even a chance to breathe. Moody has a 3rd and 4 here. We've got 1:24 left in the third quarter. Prado under center. The handoff this time is to Ja'Cory Perry, who's going to try to turn the corner on the near side and cannot do it. They will mark him down at the 23-yard line, a gain of only a yard, and it's a 4th and about 4 now for Moody.
Number 36, Eagle linebacker Luis Velasquez actually didn't make the tackle, but was responsible for stringing him out to the near sideline.
While the rest of the Eagle defense converged and brought the man down. Number 11, Sebastian Diaz, is awaiting this punt return at about midfield. It'll be kicked off from about the 10-yard line. We've had a couple of high snaps already, one that's gone over the head of the punter in the first half in this game. There's a flag on the field before the snap, and it came from the back judge all the way over here at midfield. I wonder what he saw. Whatever it was, it will go against the Trojans, so they will have that stepped off, and the ball is going to end up at the 18-yard line.
Whatever he saw, he has awfully good eyes, didn't he?
He's got better than mine because he was over here at midfield, and the action is taking down here about the 20. High snap again. Good job by the punter of bringing it down. It's a high floater. It'll kick at midfield and go out of bounds. And so technically, still no possession started for the Eagles in their territory in this half. They'll start right at the 50.
And that is right at the 50. They'll put it on the left hash mark for the Eagles as they go from left to right across your screen.
11 seconds left in the third quarter. This will most likely be the last play of the third quarter, and unless it's a long one, we won't have to flip too far sides of the field for the fourth quarter. Barrera still in the game. He's got Jorge Sierra on his left, 3 receivers over to the far side of the formation, and Sebastian Velasquez split out wide left here. The ball goes to Velasquez on a screen pass. He's got room at the 40, 35. Down the sideline he goes, and he will be pushed out of bounds at the 26-yard line.
Well, nice job by Velasquez. He caught that ball and went right down the line and tiptoed his way all the way to the 27.
3 seconds left in the third quarter as the clock stopped on the player going out of bounds. Barrera at the line, takes the snap, looks left again, looking for Sebastian Diaz. Lets the pass go into the end zone, and Sebastian Diaz has come down with it. A touchdown into double coverage. And Sebastian Diaz about 5 yards deep in the end zone, a 26-yard touchdown strike from Barrera. And on the last play of the third quarter, the Eagles put up 6 more points.
Well, let me paint a picture for you. You had Barrera here on the near side. He actually rolled out to his weak side, bounced off a player, and then as he started upfield, he threw that ball to the corner of the end zone into double coverage, with our receiver really going up and making a great catch.
Yeah, Sebastian Velasquez went up in between 2 defenders and was able to come down with that pass. Eagles will attempt the point after here. Lázaro Frausto on for the extra point. The kick is on its way, and it is good. And at the end of the third quarter, the Eagles now have a 40-6 lead over the Moody Trojans. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Back with you, Ruben Valdez and Morris Lipson Jr. here from Jordanton, where we have come in and followed the Eagles. A good contingent from Eagle Pass over on the far side of the field. We can see a lot of fans really almost taking up the whole stands on the far side of the field. You've got the band taking up about half of the stands and the dance team, and the Eagle fans taking up the rest. Kickoff is on its way. It'll be fielded here on the near side by number 8. He's got some running room past the 30 and is finally brought down at the 34-yard line. The Trojans now going right to left.
Number 40, Uciel Mauricio, came through there and grabbed him and spun him to the ground. So the Trojans will start from their own 34.
And we'll see if they can get across midfield. They were not able to cross midfield the whole time in the third quarter. Short drives that started deep in their own territory. We'll see if the Trojan offense can put on something here. Line of scrimmage is the 34 on the near hash mark. Prado under center. The ball goes to Luna, and Luna pushes the pile forward to the 38-yard line, a 4-yard gain there.
With the Eagles scoring, 26 unanswered points? The Trojans here really need to sustain a drive and eat up some clock. Their offense clearly not geared to make up a lot of points.
No, not equipped really to make up a point differential like this quickly. 40-6 in the course of that third quarter. The Eagles are on top, and now the Trojan offense is out there. The Mavericks, by the way, have an open week this week. We will be rejoining them next week down in Laredo, where we'll be at Shirley Field. Here is a handoff up the middle to Luna. Lots of motion there on the kind of trick play, but Luna ends up with the carry right up the middle of the formation, and he gets across the 45 to the 47, where Moody will have its first down of the second half.
This will be a really good time for the Eagle defense to start putting in some, younger personnel in there and have them get some valuable experience to the speed of the varsity, game.
That's right. Let them get some playing time, and you allow your starters a little rest. Don't worry about getting them hurt. Also a plus when you've got a lead this big. They do have a challenge next week, do the Eagles. They will be in Alice facing Edinburgh North next week. Here is Luna again with the carry. He'll make it to midfield on that carry. A gain of 3 yards, and it'll be a 2nd and 7 coming up for the Trojans.
A really tight handoff to Luna right up close to the line of scrimmage. And let's see if the Eagles will continue to close those gaps and bring up those linebackers.
The Eagle defense with an outstanding performance here in the second half so far after a shaky first half in which the Trojans controlled much of the clock. In that first half, the Eagle defense has come out on fire here in the second half. 9:27 left in the ball game, and the Trojans at midfield with a 2nd and about 6. Here's a toss to DeFore, and Caden DeFore gets stopped in the backfield. He'll lose a yard to the 49, and it's going to be a 3rd and 8 now from there.
Anytime that they try to cut the corners, run wide, the Eagle pursuit has just been golden, and they're right on it very, very quickly.
Not much room on the edges all game long for this Trojan offense. Their bread and butter is north and south. 3rd and 8 now from the 49-yard line for the Trojans. 8:40 left in the ball game as the clock keeps ticking on this offensive drive for Moody. Prado under center. Drops back to pass, looking for someone downfield. Lets the ball go, and it is incomplete. Double coverage down there at the 20. The ball intended for number 20, Rigoberto Hernandez. And on the incompletion, the clock stops with 8:24, and the Trojans now have a 4th and 7.
Eagle defensive secondary showed a lot of speed getting back because they had double coverage and they had the safety also in the area down there.
Did not get fooled by the play action there, and they were step by step with the only receiver out on a pattern there. Number 23 is the punter. Jonah Morales will come out to punt it off to, I believe that's Sebastian Diaz standing there at the 18. Bad snap again, goes through the punter's hands. Then it's blocked as he tried to still kick it, and a Trojan cover man will come all the way over here to the 15-yard line to fall on top of it. That's number 24, Isaiah Zamora, who was able to get that ball back. But again, the Eagles with starting field position at the Trojan 17.
I'll tell you what happened there. Number 20, who was the intended receiver, actually came out of the ball game, and he's the deep snap on the punt, and he was the only one missing in their formation. He had to rush in there and snap the ball.
We did hear from Eagle coaches that these Moody players often play both ways, and a little confusion there cost them on special teams again.
Not only confusing but tiring.
New quarterback in for the Eagles. Number 31 now in at quarterback. This handoff is to, I think, Eddie Valadez, number 29. We'll get a number for you there.
That's Alex Perez, the quarterback now.
Alex Perez, number 31, the unusual number for a quarterback.
Also a sophomore.
Ball is at the 11-yard line now on a 2nd and 5 for the Eagles. Here is another handoff. Up the field goes Cadrian Rodriguez, number 26 is the ball carrier. And Rodriguez is brought down at the 10, a gain of only a yard there. 3rd and short coming up for the Eagles.
The Eagles got a little hung up on the handoff there, right? And that's, your timing on a quarterback that's coming in will take you a few plays to get it down, and new running backs too.
That's all about reps on those handoff plays. Here's Perez from the shotgun with Cadrian Rodriguez on his right. The handoff is to Rodriguez. He'll try the left side of the line. He'll be brought down about a yard shy of the first down at the 9. So 4th and 1 now coming up for the Eagles, and you wonder if they're going to keep their offense on the field. 6:45 left in the ball game. The Eagles have a 40-6 lead over the Trojans. We want to thank all of you who are joining us on Eagle Pass Sports Central on our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, and, of course, listening in on KINL 92.7, our longtime home for Morris and I. Glad to be back on 92.7 this year. The offense is out there. Alex Perez will be in the shotgun with Cadrian Rodriguez on his left. There is movement along the line there. And again, you talked about it, partner. New offensive linemen, players who haven't gotten a lot of playing time, and these things will happen. It's going to cost the Eagles 5 yards, and the ball will end up now at the 14-yard line, where it'll be a 4th and about 6.
Well, if you want to look at the positive part of that is you've got a little bit more room to throw the football.
A little bit more room to maneuver. Alex Perez from the shotgun will take the snap and fumble at about the 20-yard line as Perez was dropping back to pass. He was tackled. The ball came loose. Either way, the possession will now go to the Trojans on a turnover on downs, and whether that was a fumble or not, I think an Eagle offensive player fell on it. But in any case, the ball belongs to the Trojans now at the 26-yard line.
Number 18, Christopher Romo, came through there and hit him as he was dropping back to pass and caused the fumble.
6:03 left in the ball game, and the Trojans have taken over after that fumble. New quarterback under center for the Trojans. That's number 17, Aiden Trevino. And Trevino hands off there to Luna. and he will get to the 29-yard line. A 3-yard gain there will make it 2nd and 7 for the Moody Trojans.
You would think the Trojans would also start looking at some other running backs. 27 has been the workhorse. It's a long game. It's really being pounded in there. You most certainly wouldn't want him to get injured here in the last 5 minutes of this ball game.
Yeah, the Trojans have a whole district season still to go. Trevino with the keeper. The ball is on the ground, and the Eagles fall on it at the 23-yard line. Trevino not used to handling quarterback duties, at least not in this game, was hit as he turned back towards the backfield, and the Eagles have a fumble recovery at the 22.
Number 35, Andres Bite, came in and fell on that football after the initial hit was made at the line of scrimmage, and the Eagle offense is back in business.
Again, starting a drive in Moody territory, this time with 5:16 left in the ball game. Here comes Alex Perez again to lead the offense. The ball is on the far hash mark. 1st and 10 for the Eagles at the 22-yard line. The Eagles have started all of their drives in Moody territory in this half. Look at Cadian Rodriguez still on his feet as he nears the 5-yard line, gashing that Moody defense, and they'll mark him down at the 6-yard line. 1st and goal for the Eagles from there.
Two things that are good there. Him getting the opportunity to carry the ball and say, I'm going to take advantage of it, but his left side of the offensive line did a good job for him there.
Cadrian Rodriguez finding some running lanes. Was that an actual snap? No one was sure if the play had started. Alex Perez just picks that ball off the ground, and then a fumble at the 3-yard line as Perez was headed towards the end zone. We'll see who comes up with it there. Perez was switching the ball over to his right arm, and right as he was doing that, he got caught from behind. Ball is on the ground and turns over on the fumble.
It looked like some kind of trick play because the ball actually was snapped and went off the side of somebody's foot and was actually kind of spinning, and everybody froze except for Perez, who picked it up and ran over to the right side of the field.
No one was really sure if the play had started, if that was an actual play or not. Perez had the presence of mind to pick it up, but again, fumbled the ball inside the 5 at the 3, and so Moody now will start with 4:45 left from their own 3-yard line, and Luna's got some running room, and the Eagle defense does a good job of catching up to him there because he had some open ground. He gets the ball across the 10 to the 12-yard line.
And this clock will continue to run with this running game. But for the Eagle defense, this has been a tale of two halves.
It has. The Eagle defense really tightened up here in the second half. Again, we started the third quarter, and this game was 14-6 in favor of the Eagles, and the Eagles now with a 40-6 lead. It's a first down at the 13-yard line for the Trojans. Ja'Cory Perry with the carry here, and again, nothing doing as he tries coming towards the end to the sideline, gets strung out there and brought down after a gain of only a yard to the 14.
Number 24, Christian Gonzalez, rode him down to the ground as he stayed in bounds, and the clock continues to run.
3:40 left now in the ball game. Here come the Trojans on a 2nd and 9 from the 14-yard line. The handoff is to Luna, who's got some running room, puts his head down at the 20, and he'll come up a yard shy of the first down at the 22. Want to shout out Gabby Juarez and the Juarez girls listening to us back in Eagle Pass as we wind down to the end of this ball game.
Ruben, and also we always want a big shout out to all of our law enforcement, all of you that are out there at night patrolling, whether you're Border Patrol or DPS or police.
I want to thank all of our law enforcement for their efforts, state and federal, down there in Maverick County in the Eagle Pass. The Eagles stand up Luna on this carry. They'll mark him stopped at the 20, a loss of 2 yards, and it'll bring up 4th down. We also want to thank all of our and say hello to all of our veterans that are listening back home. My father-in-law is a proud Army veteran himself, and everyone who served our country, we want to thank them also for tuning in here on Eagle Pass Sports Central and KINL 92.7. We're down to 2:17 left in the ball game, and the Trojans on a 4th and 3 will keep their offense on the field. Here's a handoff to Luna. Luna, the ball pops loose, and the Eagles, I think, have fallen on top of it at the 26-yard line as Luna was trying to cut right.
Number 17.
And we have now had 4 possessions in a row end in a fumble going back and forth between these two teams.
Number 17, Troy Sanford came up with a football. And going back to your father-in-law, you're the favorite son-in-law, right?
That's what they tell me.
Well,
and so I'm going to believe him.
Which probably it has to be that way since he only has one daughter.
And so it makes it easy for me to be the favorite son-in-law. I want to say hi to Rogelio and Rosie Ramon down there in Eagle Pass. Alex Perez with the shotgun snap, hands off to Cadrian Rodriguez. And Rodriguez gets that ball to the 21-yard line, a 5-yard gain, 2nd and 5 coming up. And the Eagles will probably run maybe a couple of more plays here. And that will be the end of that for this ball game. This victory will move the Eagles to 2-1 for the season. They'll have one more pre-district game next week, next Friday in Alice against Edinburgh. Actually, 2 more pre-district games. San Marcos will come in the week after that, and then they'll have an open week, and then not until that first week in October will the Eagles start district play against Alexander. So the Eagles 3 more weeks before the start of district play. Quick pass over to the far sideline. It's caught over on that side. The Eagles have a 1st down inside the 15 at the 14.
It looked like number 34 over there.
It's Devontae Monsivais with the catch. Clock stops with 1:11 left in the ball game. Alex Perez again with the keeper, tries the left side, and the Moody defense is there to meet him in the backfield. He'll lose about 3 yards back here to the 17. It'll be a 2nd and 13 now.
And I'll take that back. It was not 34. It was 84, so we got to give some credit to 84 Mauricio Flores.
On the board with a catch. There is an injured Moody play down, and you hate to see it with under a minute left, 49 seconds left on the clock. It's been a pretty clean game, penalty-wise and really injury-wise. I haven't seen a lot down on the field, but this time one of the Moody players is down. Hey, we want to say hi to Rick Hernandez, who's watching over from the Border Patrol Academy in Artesia, New Mexico, Morris. We've got folks all over the country listening to us. Our friend Rick Hernandez, hope he's having a good time over there in New Mexico.
And that one over there was he's cramping up. That's probably, it's been a long ball game. A lot of these players go 2 ways. Yeah. Number 10 is up on his own power, Trey Johnson, for the Trojans.
That man coming off the field under his own power. It's been a hot week in South Texas. Another heat wave coming through, hopefully the last of the year. And we've got...
Look at this formation here.
The Eagles have 3 receivers here to the near side, 1 split out wide left. Want to take the time to say hello to our Mighty Eagle band parents and the band boosters, always contributing to the Mighty Eagle band. Here's a carry by Cadrian Rodriguez, comes here to the near side, puts a stiff arm up, and he'll be brought down at the 10-yard line. And I don't believe the Eagles will have to call another play here. That in all probability,
they're not. The coach is calling them over.
Will be the last play of the game. And Cadrian Rodriguez with that last carry gets the Eagles to the 10-yard line. Again, the Mavericks have an open week this week, and partner Coach Tom Gonzalez mentioned it yesterday at the prediction show. When you've got a tough loss like the one that the Eagles had in Bernie less than a week ago, they were kind of looking forward to this Thursday game because they wanted to get back on the field as soon as possible, get that other loss out of their system, move forward, and they certainly have done it here, anchored by a very good defensive performance in the second half.
You know, he said that it was even good that they played on Thursday because they wanted to get back under game conditions. But tonight, what a great job done, of course, by the Eagles putting points on the board, but also a great job done by the Eagle defense in a game where Moody controlled the football all of the most of the first half. The Eagle offense made really effective use of their possessions by putting points on the board. But we figured that in the second half, the Eagle defense had to do something to stop number 27, and gosh, they did.
And this was really a case where the defense keyed the offensive success. Why? Because the defense had stops, and I think all of the Eagles' offensive possessions in the second half were started in Moody territory, except for that punt return for a touchdown that Pepe Hernandez took from the Eagle 40. Other than that, all of the Eagles' drives started in Moody territory, and you've got to give the Eagle defense credit for that.
Well, a great night for Eagle football. And, of course, we're looking forward to the rest of the season. Next week, the Mavericks return to play. We got something really exciting coming up Wednesday on our prediction show. We're going to be at Choch's Barbecue, place that just opened up. Of course, they've been around for a while with their food truck in different places, but now they've opened up, and we're going to be in for a great prediction show and some good food.
At Choch's brick and mortar place, as they say. Choch's Barbecue there on North Veterans Boulevard. We're looking forward to that this Wednesday at 12:30. The prediction show will be at Choch's Barbecue there. Next week, the Eagles will go to Alice. They'll play a tough Edinburgh North team there. The week after that, San Marcos comes into town, and then the Eagles get a week to rest before the start of district play.
We have got to give our broadcast engineer a raise.
We will. We absolutely will after this game. Although I think after this game, our broadcast engineer might be buying me dinner. That's certainly what I hope, to get something to eat on the way home. So next week, we will be down in Laredo at Shirley Field. The Mavericks will start their district season. Of course, the Mavericks district larger with more teams in it than the Eagles, so the Mavericks get an earlier start to their district season than the Eagles do. The final score here from here, 40-6 in favor of the Eagles over the Moody Trojans. Want to mention our sponsors on behalf of Universal Media Connections and KINL Power 92.7. One more time, Balde Record Service, Nevada's law firm, Allstate, Onesimo Elizondo, Saritas Tortilla Factory, TNT Rentals, IBC Bank, Stat Emergency, R&R Safety Wear LLC, Texas Diamond Garage, Capital Insurance Services, Clarissa Rivera Flores, Tienda de los Venados, Jad Harper Attorney at Law, Tabanny Insurance, Chapa Law Group, Choch's Barbecue, Benavides Insurance, Lorena Mello State Farm, Brown Chevrolet, Vargas Hardware, and Ruiz & Associates, and our sponsors here on Eagle Pass Sports Central for the season. Brown Chevrolet GMC of Eagle Pass, Ancira Ford of Eagle Pass, and State Representative Eddie Morales. Final score here from Jordanton, Eagles 40, Trojans 6. For my broadcasting partner, Morris Lipson Jr., for our audiovisual engineer, Cristina Valadez, my name is Ruben Valadez. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.